It's official. LeBron James will be leaving the Los Angeles Lakers this offseason. This news came out 4 days ago. You've probably seen it by now, but I wanted to jump on here and put my 2 cents in. This was kind of expected after they got Luka Doncic in the Anthony Davis trade. It didn't seem like his tenure was going to be coming to an end. They kind of started phasing him out, using him as a third option, kind of just already announcing plans of building around Luka Doncic in future free agencies, and those plans kind of seem just not to fit LeBron. And therefore, he has made the decision that he will be leaving. One funny thing I do think about the situation, though, is LeBron waited until Bronny's contract got fully guaranteed before informing the Lakers he's leaving. Like bro said right here, great dad if you ask me. That shit's funny. But I really been hoping he was going to leave for some time. It didn't seem like LA was going to win, kind of past the bubble. But now we will get to finally see him go somewhere. This is another crazy piece of the story. LeBron, he's always been about getting his bag. He would sign 1 year deals, kind of keep his flexibility open, but he was never taking less money. He announced a couple off seasons ago that he would take some less money, but it was for some guys like Klay Thompson, DeRozan, and Valanciunas. That didn't happen, and he ended up still taking his $50+ million. But now that he's 41 years old, entering free agency for year 24, and he's already a billionaire, he has said money is not a factor. As Sham says here, he doesn't intend to make a financially driven decision. So this just means he can go to any NBA team. But that's at least what we thought a couple days ago. Since then, he has had Rich Paul and his PR team narrowing it down. Let's see that next post. Where was it? At first, it was saying open to every team besides LA, and they also had the Spurs off of here. The Spurs are no longer expected to pursue LeBron after signing Tobias Harris. But yesterday, where did they announce it? Let me find the post here. Oh, this was a funny post. Just seeing all these teams recruit Bron. But when do I find it? Where do I find it? He is open to the following teams according to Rich Paul. If you see this whiteboard right here, it's 76ers, the Knicks, Cavs, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Heat, Warriors, Celtics, Spurs, and Mavs. This is a long list. This is still 10 teams. I do not think he would actually go to all 10 of these teams. But we do know, since Rich Paul has came out and said it, if the Knicks weren't to win a championship last year, like if they had lost to the Spurs in that finals, LeBron would have went to the New York Knicks. I think it would have just been storybook. He would have probably tried to go and get a ring in New York. It would have been a ring with 4 different franchises. He probably would have had 5 finals MVPs, and he would have brought titles to both Cleveland, his hometown, Miami, LA, and then another one of the biggest markets, New York. That would almost just solidify them as the GOAT. But since they won, obviously LeBron can't go over there and just kind of look like a bandwagon. So he's going to have to make another decision. So out of these 10 teams, I would probably knock off the Knicks. There's already been reports that the Spurs will probably be out since they signed Tobias Harris. But if LeBron's going to sign on your team for a minimum deal, you obviously wouldn't turn him down. But off the rip, I'm just going to get rid of these teams. Knicks, Spurs, Celtics, since they no longer have Jaylen Brown. I don't see him going to team up with Tatum, White, and Mitch Rob. That doesn't make any sense. Mavs, for sure, he's not going to. Look at the Mavs. Their reasons aren't even basketball related. This shit says oil, golf, and Masai Ujiri, and I think that shit says Africa right there. This shit has nothing to do with basketball. I do not think LeBron is going to the Mavs. He's already made a decision that kind of had nothing to do with basketball, which was the LA decision. A lot of people say he went over there to film movies and shit. He had Space Jam, some other things. It was just good business opportunities. But I think this final thing or final decision should either be to just go have fun, to be a storybook ending, or to chase and get one last ring to make it 5. But so Spurs, Celtics, Mavs, Knicks, and Timberwolves, I do not think are legit teams. I can't see LeBron going to play with LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, and Gobert. I mean, that does sound like a solid 5. But if he had the option to go to Philly, I think that's an even better 5. My top 5 teams, I think the Nuggets are number 5. Just from a pure basketball standpoint, I think LeBron and Jokic on the court would just be crazy. But realistically, I just can't see LeBron playing in Denver. So that's why they're number 5. I don't think he'll go there. I got the Heat number 4. I would have the Heat a little bit higher, but I can't really see him going back just with how things ended last time. And you can no longer wear 6 because of Bill Russell. And 23 is also retired on the Heat for Michael Jordan, who didn't even fucking play for him. That's why he didn't wear it the first time on Miami. So I don't see LeBron going there because I really can't see LeBron choosing a number that's different from 6 or 23 at this point in his career. So I have them number 4. But the fit with Giannis and Bam would be insane. He could just be like that big point for that team. But that shooting is just a little wicked. If they run Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Bron, Giannis, and Bam, it's going to be a lot of slashing. Bron's going to be the first or second best shooter in that lineup. I don't know if Davion Mitchell or Wiggins shot better from 3 last season. They probably did. I think Bron only shot 31%, but Heat's at number 4. Number 3, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. Beforehand, I would have had them nowhere close to this. But if I'm remembering correctly, because I was a little younger at the time, in 2018 when he chose the Los Angeles Lakers, I think he was between LA, Houston with James Harden, and pretty sure it was Philadelphia he was taking meetings with to go and join Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and join the process at that time. So he's already considered Philadelphia in the past. And that lineup now that they have Brown would be Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, Braun, and Embiid, and you would have guys like Anthony Simons off the bench, LeBaron Philon that you just drafted, Dean Wade, Justin Edwards. I think they brought in Huck Porty, and maybe they still have a Dim Bonus, so you have some other center options. I think if you want to win a championship, it is very possible in Philly, and I don't think it would do anything, but if him and Brown have some still weird thing going on, that could hold him back. But I really could see him going to Philly, and I would actually really love that as a Brown fan. My number 2 team I think he could go to would be the Golden State Warriors. But that would only be if they could get the trade done for Anthony Davis and Jimmy Butler. I didn't want to just be sitting here on the same thing over and over, so let me pull up something else. This was funny from the other day. Anthony Davis and Braun low-key got backdoored. That's what we're saying now. But number 2 would be the Warriors. If they could trade for, let's just leave it up on this one. If they could trade for Anthony Davis for Jimmy Butler and have Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and then sign LeBron, and you also have young guys like Lindenborg, Moody, Pods, I can't really think who else would be on that team. Maybe Quentin Post if he's still there. But I think that would be the most fun team. And he's always said he would love to play besides Steph Curry. And he also loves Draymond. And you would bring back one of his favorite teammates ever, Anthony Davis, to play again. That's my number 2 spot. And number 1, obviously, is just going to be LeBron returning home to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that's the most storybook ending for year 24, to return to where you started your career, to where you went back to and won an championship. He didn't win an MVP in that second Cleveland stint, but to just go finish it out there, and there is still a real chance at winning. They've got Harden, Mitchell, Braun, Mobley, and Allen, and then off the bench you could have, who is it? They just had Malik Thomas. I think they lost Keon Ellis. They still have guys like Proctor. You would still have Strus. I think that team could honestly still compete, and what's a better way to just go back to Cleveland and finish out your career there and make it your last one, year 24. Appreciate you for tuning in for the video, and happy July 4th, everybody.